Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another pregnancy update for you. I've fallen a little bit behind, and especially now that we're in the 30s, I feel like I cannot do that because I need to make sure I get these all filmed before baby comes. So today we have a little bit of a bigger chunk to get through. We're going over weeks 29 through 32 of my pregnancy. And technically, I'm not completely done with this stage. I still have 2 days in my 32nd week. But you know what? I was full ready today. I had the time and I was like, I'm gonna sit down and film this because I know I'm not filming this weekend because we'll be on our baby moon, so I'll be filming that. So anyways, long story short, today we are doing weeks 29 through 32. Let's jump into it. Week 29, baby is the size of a head of cauliflower, 15.5 inches to 16 inches, and 2.5 to 3 pounds according to the What to Expect app. So week 29, I noticed hiccups finally. Now, hiccups is something that they say you can start feeling, I want to say even before the baby's movements or like around that same time. And I was starting to get a little concerned that I hadn't felt any hiccups. When they have hiccups, it's like really good exercise for their lungs for breathing outside the womb. So I was a little concerned that I hadn't seen hiccups yet, but hiccups came at week 29. Weight gain for week 29, I did go up a pound. So now we were at about 17 pounds total gained during my pregnancy. Again, she was very active at nighttime, which is fun. It's actually one of my favorite times of the day because I'll just, Jordan likes to read in bed. And so I will just like lay there and like kind of pull my shirt up over my belly and like watch what she's doing. And it's just like so fascinating. I'll like put on the belly butter and all that stuff. So yes, she is a very active little one at nighttime. So week 29, I had mentioned some stretch marks before, mostly like in my chest, but this was the first week I noticed them starting to show on my stomach. And specifically, it was coming in on my left hip. And I talked to my doctors about this. I think that's jumping ahead a little bit. But the following week, I talked to my doctor about the stretch mark. And because baby favors my right hand side so much, by her like shoving her whole body on the right hand side, it's like stretching the skin around the left. And so that's what's causing the stretch marks on my left hip. So I thought that was super interesting, but I did start to notice that was like my first stretch mark that I saw come in. The frequent urination, again, this is something I think a lot of pregnant women have their entire pregnancy, and I was lucky that mine kind of came on later, but I feel like I'm constantly using the restroom. And this week I also noticed like increased strength in her movements. So she's got a lot of gusto behind them. And she specifically, I mentioned this week that I don't know if it was a punch or a kick, but she was like hitting my cervix and my bladder a lot. And that was like the weirdest, most uncomfortable sensation. Like one time she hit my bladder so hard, I like really had to like tense up and hold it there for a second because I thought she was gonna make me wet my pants because she was like hitting it so hard. So anyways, I just keep telling her like, oh my gosh, wow, you are so strong, and you know, positive affirmations, even though it's not always the most comfortable for me. So week 29 was also the week before Christmas, and since we were traveling for Christmas, me and Jordan did our gift exchange this week, and he got me the BB Hug Me pregnancy pillow. I may have to go grab that to show you guys because it is life changing, truly. Like Jordan actually wants one for himself because they're just like so comfortable. I just love it. I don't understand all the pregnancy pillows that are like U-shaped and C-shaped and like so giant you need a king size bed to be able to house that pillow and you and another human. So I love that the BB Hug Me is just like one straight, like almost cylindrical shape. So you can just like go kind of down your side, below your belly a little bit, between your legs. It's just a dream. So loved that gift. It really was like the Christmas of all things baby, because I got that. I got my first maternity pajamas. I got a ton of like belly butters and stretch mark creams and things of that nature. So yeah, Christmas this year was all pregnancy products, and I was totally okay with that. Week 30 was Christmas week, December 24th through the 30th, and baby was the size of a bunch of broccoli, 16 inches long and roughly 3 pounds. During week 30, I had a big jump in weight. Well, I guess it's not huge. I gained 2 pounds. And that was not from like Christmas cookies and things. I weigh myself on the first day of the week. So I weighed myself on Christmas Eve before we flew out for Christmas, and I had gained 2 pounds. So just wanted to clarify there. I was not like going crazy on like holiday treats. This was prior to the holiday. So yes, I gained 2 pounds. So I officially hit 20 pounds gained in pregnancy. And I think I mentioned this previously, but for where I started from, they said the healthy weight gain is like between 25 and 35 pounds. So when I hit 20 pounds, I was like, okay, we're getting up there, but like still in a healthy range. So everything is good. So this week I noticed, I don't even feel right calling them cravings, because when I hear a lot of people describe cravings, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to drive 30 minutes to get this one specific food because I need it right now. And that has not been my cravings. It's just like I'm super susceptible to like suggestion. So like if I see a commercial for pizza, it like plants it in my head, and then all day I'm like, oh my gosh, I want pizza. Pizza sounds so good. But like I can pinpoint where it came from. It came from that commercial or whatever. Or I had a day when a coworker I overheard him on the phone talking to his daughter about going to get In-N-Out together. And I was like, oh my gosh, In-N-Out. Do I need In-N-Out? I think I need In-N-Out. And so it's just like specific things like that. So it's not like your typical cravings, but I did notice that desire for certain foods after being suggested did come back in week 30. So I already noticed the hip stretch mark, but this week I also noticed another stretch mark coming in like center front, which I think is a really common place for people to get stretch marks. And I felt so much better because I actually talked to my mom about it. For some reason, I had it in my head all along that my mom never got stretch marks. And I don't know where I got that idea from, but she was like, oh no, I definitely got stretch marks. So that made me feel a little bit better, because once I started noticing these pop up in different areas, like I'm not upset about it. Whatever happens to my body, because we brought this baby into the world, 100% worth it. But they say a lot of times that stretch marks are hereditary. So if your mom didn't have them, you're more likely not to. So in my mind, me thinking that my mom never got them and then I'm getting all these stretch marks, I was kind of like, well, what the heck? I thought I wasn't supposed to be getting them. But she reassured me she got them as well. Okay, I had my 30-week appointment during this week. They measured the fundal height. So they start at like your pelvic bone and then go up to the top of your bump. And so I was measuring at 32. I forget if that's like centimeters or inches or what, but I measured at a 32. And so for that week 30 appointment, I was supposed to be between like 28 and a half and 32 and a half. So 32 was like right in that healthy range, a little on the upper side, but still in range, which was great. I noticed this week specifically, because baby favors the right hand side, I could not sleep on my right hand side, and it was driving me nuts because I consistently, like, I will sleep on one side, I'll kind of halfway wake up and go to the other side and I can fall back asleep, but it's like my body is sick of sleeping on the other side, so like I have to switch to stay comfortable. And so there were a few nights, and this is such a silly thing, but like I would have woken up from my left hand side and I would try to roll to my right, but because baby girl was all curled up on the right hand side, as soon as I put any pressure to like sleep on the right hand side, she would just like start pummeling the mattress. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to like, I would get 30 seconds of like sleeping on my right hand side. I'm like, oh, this is glorious. This is great. This is the exact comfortable position I want to be in. And then she would just start beating me. And so I'm like, oh, fine. I guess I have to go back to my left, even though, like, in my body, I know I want to be sleeping on my right hand side. So that was a little bit frustrating. That was going down during week 30. Okay, I have another symptom I'm going to share with you. If you're watching these videos, I shouldn't have to do like TMI warnings, but I'm just saying if you're like not comfortable with the bodily things, just like skip ahead a few minutes, okay? Okay. So I thought something was terribly wrong when I went in for my 30-week appointment, because something that I noticed, and if you followed my fertility journey, you know that I had some issues before we ever got pregnant with my pituitary gland and my hormones, and basically my body was producing something similar to milk that was flowing, shall we say. So I have already experienced that in my life. So because of that, I thought like my nipples were just kind of more open. And I noticed during week 30, they like started to kind of get dry looking, and they started getting like peely. And I was like, oh no. Like if they're dry and peely, like is my milk drying up because it was already used once? Like I was just like, there's no way that these peeling can be a good thing when I have to be ready to breastfeed in like 10 weeks. Am I not gonna be able to breastfeed? I was like, just not necessarily spiraling, but I was like a little bit concerned, and I was trying to Google, but I didn't know what to Google other than like dry nipples and pregnancy. And that was getting me nowhere. So I literally went in, I told my nurse midwife like this big long story, and she was like, yep, that's totally normal. I was like, why does no one talk about this? I then like told one of my mom friends, and she's like, oh yeah, that happens. I was like, guys, we need to tell each other about this. Like first time mom things that we need to know. Like I thought my milk supply was drying up before it had even began, but no, apparently them like drying up and peeling and whatever is like them pushing out. I'm not even gonna be able to describe this well, but it's like basically they're getting ready for milk production. And so I had nothing to worry about. So ladies, if you are a first time mom and you're following along on this, just know that that can be happening and it's totally okay. Week 30 was Christmas, so this was my last airplane flight of pregnancy. We flew up to northern Idaho to hang out with my family. It was absolutely beautiful. We were up in the cabin in the middle of nowhere. Absolutely lovely. I got such an amazing gift. This was not even from like a friend or a family member, but I swear God has been so faithful to provide like all the things we need throughout pregnancy. I could do a whole nother video on all the like cool ways he's showed up, but specifically with a breast pump. So I had gone back and forth with what kind of breast pump I wanted to get. Originally, I thought a hands-free one would be the way to go, but then I realized I work from home. So as nice as hands-free is, I was like, I don't know if I necessarily have to have that. Anyways, I was like going back and forth because they're like $500. And my health insurance, I know a lot of people's health insurance gets them great breast pumps, like for little to no cost. Mine does not. It is kind of garbage that way. And so I saw on Instagram a bunch of these big time people that I follow were doing a giveaway with Willow, who is one of the top like hands-free breast pump people. And so actually Alexa Penavega, who she's huge. I don't know how many followers she has, but like it's a ton of followers. And like I said, she was not the only like celebrity influencer that posted this, but they're like, Willow's doing this giveaway. They're going to give away 10 free breast pumps. And we just really want to bless people during the holiday season, whatever. And so I entered because, hello, free breast pump. And I won. I was so excited. So that was just like the most amazing gift to be able to get that hands-free breast pump that I really genuinely wanted. I just didn't know if I could justify $500 for the hands-free when I'm working from home and I'm going to be more primarily breastfeeding. But just so exciting to be able to have that opportunity. I was like shocked when I won. So that was a really cool part of week 30. So I'm excited to use that and try it out. And I've had a couple of people request like doing a review after I've used it for a little bit. So let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see that. Jumping ahead to week 31. So this is New Year's week. Obviously we didn't do anything crazy for New Year's with me being pregnant and all. But baby is the size of a coconut, 16 inches and 3.2 pounds. As for me, I don't believe I didn't gain any weight over Christmas week. I still was at about 20 pounds gained total. So some of the things that I noticed during week 31, I noticed it starting to be harder to get around. So I remember early on, especially like getting in and out of bed and stuff, I was like, oh, I know I'm not supposed to be using my core, but like I can still technically like sit up and like do whatever pretty easily. 31 weeks was about the time I started realizing like, oh, it's a little more cumbersome to like get around. I can't quite move in the same ways that I used to. It was a little more difficult to get comfortable. And again, her movements were getting just so much stronger. I actually should insert a little video here so you guys can see like the power of her movements. I posted this one video on Instagram and I got like so many comments from people of like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. Like she is just like a wild woman. But there was literally days during this week that my insides like ached because of how like aggressively she was moving around in there. And it was kind of hilarious because in all of the books and apps and everything, it was like, all right, baby's getting really big in there. All those strong punches are gonna get, you know, a little bit softer now because they don't have as much room to move around. And I was like, that's funny because she just keeps getting stronger. And so I thought that was kind of funny. I noticed also during this week that, so I was used to sleeping with just one pillow. I like being a little bit closer to the mattress, not being super propped up. But I was noticing like it was kind of more difficult to breathe when I was laying down. And so I would have to like try lots of different positions. And even then it just like, she was, I don't know, taking up too much space or something. So I actually added a second pillow to keep me propped up a little bit more, to keep some of that weight off of like the lungs, I guess. I don't know what's happening in there, but I added a second pillow and it really helped me to breathe better. And I'm sure a lot of you moms that are pregnant at the same time as me, it's so annoying that like all the COVID symptoms are like also pregnancy symptoms and like also anxiety symptoms, because I'm laying there in bed and then I'm like, I'm having some difficulty breathing. Did I catch COVID at the grocery store today? Like, and then you realize like, no, I'm pregnant and this baby is taking up a lot of space and it makes it more difficult to breathe. So annoying. I'm sure you guys can relate to anyone who's been pregnant during the age of COVID. I also noticed that my spatial awareness for my belly was a little out of tune starting at week 31. I noticed like I would kind of run, not like hard, but like I would bump into the counter or like something. I'm not used to my belly being out this far. And so I'm having to like relearn my spatial awareness with how big my belly is getting. And of course, some acid reflux flare ups. It's funny because my sister I mentioned is also pregnant. So when we went home for Christmas during week 30, I was like, oh, since I'm flying and you're driving, can you make sure to bring some Tums, like just in case of acid reflux? And she was like, yeah, totally. I don't think I used one the entire time. And then I get back the following week when I'm home, and then the acid reflux comes back, which, not that I'm complaining, but I just thought that was so funny because I specifically asked her to bring them and then I didn't even need them. But yeah, few acid reflux flare ups, not ideal, but very common in pregnancy. Man, this is a long one. I'm just rambling. Week 32. So, week 32 is what I'm currently wrapping up right now. Baby is the size of a cantaloupe, 16 to 17 inches, 3.5 to 4 pounds. So, for my weight gain, I actually gained another 2 pounds going into week 32, which brings me up to, let's see, about 22 pounds gained in pregnancy. So obviously weight gain in pregnancy is like a tough thing for a lot of people. I have had friends who haven't gained much and that's stressful. And then I've known people who have gained like way more than they're supposed to. And then their doctors are on their case every single week. And so it's just hard. It's a hard place to be because you're not used to like seeing the scale go up and it being like totally fine. It's kind of like a mind trick. And so now that I'm at like 22 pounds gained, I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to like end between 25 and 35. Like, I should probably slow down on that weight gain. So I feel like it has made me a little more conscious of like, okay, maybe eat something more than just carbs for breakfast. Like, let's have some more eggs. I've been really big onto smoothies lately. So I'll do like smoothies or like yogurt and granola. I'm finally able to eat that again. That was something during first trimester I couldn't eat. But yeah, so I'm getting back to being a little bit more health conscious now that the weight gain has gone up a little bit. So again, frequent urination, constantly having to use the restroom, which jumping ahead a little bit, I did go to the chiropractor during this week and he mentioned that I'm supposed to actually be getting up and moving, even if it's just a little bit every 30 minutes. And I was like, great. So all those trips to the bathroom actually are helping with like my chiropractic stuff. So I guess that's fine. Again, acid reflux had some little flare-ups here and there. It's always when I'm out of the house and I don't have Tums on me. So I decided today I just need to like get a little baggie of Tums and carry them with me everywhere. I noticed again, let's see, what did the app say? Baby's like 3.5 to 4 pounds. Yeah, I feel that. My belly is feeling heavy. Like if I'm walking around Costco or doing anything where I'm up on my feet for any length of time, I've really been relying on the belly band that you like wrap around your lower stomach to like help hold it up because it just gets to feeling so heavy. And I know it's because she is actually getting bigger and heavier and that's just going to continue, but I really started to notice that and feel that this week. Again, more stretch marks coming in hot. I think I now have like both hips still stronger on the left because she pulls to the right, and then a couple center front. So we're full on getting stretch marks now. It's fine. I don't even mind. But definitely have noticed an increase in that lately. So I mentioned I went to the chiropractor for the first time at 32 weeks. And this is something for anyone that does any research in natural like childbirth and unmedicated deliveries and things. They always speak so highly of like prenatal chiropractic appointments. And it makes a lot of sense because you want to make sure like your body is, especially in labor and delivery, it's like a puzzle. So for your baby to get down in the right position and come out in the most smooth way, you really want to make sure like your hips and your pelvis and everything are aligned so your baby can like drop down and come through the easiest way possible. And so chiropractic work is great for that. So I started going at 32 weeks. I think I'm gonna do like 32, 34, 36, and then do every week. So it kind of lines up as well with my doctor's appointments. And also because I'm not really having a whole lot of issues. I know some people start the chiropractic stuff earlier because they have like, what is it? Is it SI pain? Sciatica? Yeah, they have like hip pain, back pain, joint pain, all of that, and the chiropractic work helps them. I'm very lucky and I haven't really had any of that. So I think I'm just gonna keep it every other week till 36 weeks. And then at 36, just go in to get my adjustments, because by that point, baby could come at any time. And I wanna make sure that we've got like the way for her clear and everything is lined up perfectly. I had my baby shower, my second and final baby shower during week 32. My friends put it on. It was absolutely beautiful, like boho themed, had the most beautiful cake and cookies and all of that. And it was just so much fun. I'm so grateful. It was a little bit smaller because literally the day before my shower, of course, like a new mask mandate goes in effect in our county. And so I think some people were a little bit sketched out and didn't want to go to like a large gathering. It wasn't large. There was only like 8 of us. But I think that deterred some people, which is unfortunate because we've been in this, y'all, for 2 years. Like, I never would have expected that this was still going to be going on by my second baby shower when this started 2 years ago. But anyways, so I will be sure to add in some photos from my baby shower because it was lovely. Now, the one downside, I had my 32-week appointment this morning at 32 weeks and 4 days. And we had some good news. Baby girl is head down. Yay. I'm so excited because originally they said they weren't going to start checking for if she was head down until like 36 weeks. And I was like, man, that feels late. Like, I want to know if she's not in position so I can start doing those exercises to get her in position. So I know technically she could still move at this point, but as of this morning at 32 weeks and 4 days, she was head down. So that is really great. However, woke up this morning with probably my least favorite pregnancy symptom I've experienced so far. And it's not, I don't think it's super common, but I woke up and my armpit was super sore. And it was kind of weird. Like, it felt a little bit hard, but it was just like super sore to the touch. And I was like, well, thank goodness I have an appointment this morning. Luckily, in that What to Expect app, I had seen some girls, there was like a thread about armpits a couple days prior. And I was like, well, that's weird. And so I just kept scrolling. I never clicked in and read it. So this morning, while I'm lying in bed being like, ouch, why does my armpit hurt? I went to that thread and girls were talking about it, and it had something to do with like your milk coming in. So I went to my appointment today and I talked to them about it. I showed it to her, and she like had to, even though it was not very comfortable, had to kind of like poke at it and feel it and see what was going on. It's like a clogged milk duct or like an abscess of milk in my underarm, because in case you didn't know, your breast tissue goes all the way up into your armpits. And so it's just like an abscess of milk that is like stuck up there. And a lot of times this will happen to women who are currently breastfeeding. And so the way to get it out, you like massage it, try and break it up, and it like works its way out through breastfeeding. But I'm not having a baby for another like 8 weeks. So I don't want to like have this just sit there for the next 8 weeks because it's very uncomfortable. Like it like hurts to even put my arm all the way down. And so yeah, I will update you in the next one to see how we actually solve this, because as of right now I'm doing like a cold compress. I have to go massage it after this. I'm not looking forward to it because it's painful. But we're just gonna see if that does anything, if that helps, like if it breaks up on its own. If not, I may have to like either go in and see the lactation specialist, see if she has any ideas, or potentially like go in and get an ultrasound to just see like make sure it is just an abscess or like see what exactly is going on in there. So that was brand spanking new information today. So I will be sure to follow up with you on that. But yeah, I think my next update will be like weeks 33 through 36. And then guys, I will only have one other pregnancy update after that. And then it'll be like birth vlog. That is crazy, especially because I started doing these updates like every 2 weeks, but that just like got away from me because there's so many videos I want to film about pregnancy and this entire journey, and there's just not enough hours in the day when I work a full-time job. If I was like a full-time YouTuber, I would have done so many more videos, but I just don't have time because I have to like film these when I actually like get ready, have somewhat decent lighting, and that makes things a little bit limited while I'm also, you know, getting our whole house ready for baby. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video, kind of catching up on the pregnancy updates. I think the next video after this will probably be recapping our baby moon, which I mentioned we're going on this weekend. We're going down to St. George for a 3-day weekend, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be amazing. We're staying at the resort where High School Musical 2 was filmed. So any of you kids, anyone who grew up in like the mid to late 2000s, like, you know that resort, pretty exciting stuff. So that will be coming up, as well as packing my hospital bag and the nursery tour, which I'm sitting in. It is not done, but we're getting very close. So all of those videos are coming, as well as only, I think, 2 more pregnancy updates. Insane. But I hope you're enjoying them. Thank you so much for following along. If you enjoy this content, if you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to hit 1,000 subscribers this year. That would be amazing. And yeah, thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys back here next week. Bye guys.